Okay, you're going to see in this video actual Egyptians. And these are people that Dr. Ben worked with whenever he would take trips over to Egypt. And just listen to what this Egyptian man says. This is a direct descendant of the people that you see on the wall, these black Egyptians. He said that they didn't even know anything about African Americans until Dr. Ben went over there. See, that's the key to this, the Caucasian people is divide and conquer. Try to keep people from coming together and getting to know people. And he was talking about how quite a few Egyptians didn't even know we existed. But listen to what he says. Not at one point does he says, I'm a white man. He would look stupid saying that, but he doesn't say that. He says they are African. And then you're going to see him take a bus tour to this location where there's a bunch of Egyptians. And I want you to take notice to two things: how they're dressed. They're dressed very much like they were on the Egyptian wall, because Egyptians wore white. And just take notice to the color of these people. Not one person that he talks to in Egypt say they are white. So white people, you just didn't do a good enough job in threatening these people to say they were white. And then I got another video that I want to show you. It was this white dude that traveled to Egypt and he got a severe sunburn. You're going to get a good chuckle out of this. So how do you come from Egypt, but you can't stand the sun there? You can't handle it there. It makes absolutely no sense. But let's go ahead and roll this video, ladies and gentlemen. Egyptians are black.
Been since 1980, working in the Aswan area. Did you see many tour groups with people of African descent before Dr. Ben?
No. I have seen, I only was, so videos like 2, 3 in a group, but not like what, since Dr. Ben started, we saw the African Americans in Egypt, and that was exactly the time. And when was exactly was also the ASCAC was the biggest group ever in 87. So the people in Egypt, everyone just they don't know about the African Americans until Dr. Ben started his groups in Egypt. Maybe majority. I mean, the common people in the country, in the village, they don't know anything about until Dr. Ben started his groups to Egypt here and his tours to Egypt.
Does he teach a different perspective of the Nile civilization than the usual?
Well, yes, what he is, it's a kind of what all the Egyptologists study, what is the books and what it's published and written from the 18th century, since that time. So there is a same one track. And I say now, when is the Dr. Benz and the professors, they started to open a new way of, study, or so this is something different than what it's written, what the archaeologists or the tour guides studied in their own way. So
you mean one is a European perspective and Dr. Ben is an African perspective?
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
A lot of people say that all of this was not built by people of color, that this was all built by whites. Dr. Ben seems to be saying something different.
Well, it's what is the meaning by white or the color? We are in Africa. So Egypt is Africa.
Shoki works with Dr. Ben in the Luxor area. How long has this gentleman been working with you? How long? Years.
I am a guide 14, but I worked with Dr. Ben 12 years.
12 years?
12 years.
How did you meet him?
I saw him in the monument in the Valley of the Kings once a year, and I listened to him when he talked to his people, and I sit with him, I visit him, and I like his way, what he doing with his people. And I am a Nubian, part of Nubian, you know.
So I
am a Nubian, Egyptian, Africans.
What is it that you liked about what he has to say?
Yes, because I like history. I am interested. So he's big official, he's big professor, and mention about ancient history, about Nubian history life in Egypt.
He emphasizes the Nubian.
Nubian. So I love Nubian people, and I wish to be Nubian forever.
You will be.
Yes.
By the way, many years ago, a humble Egyptian village along the Nile named Daboud offered what little food and drink they had to Dr. Ben and his tour group that had become stranded because their bus broke down. Ever since then, Daboud has been part of Dr. Ben's tour. He always doubles whatever his tour group donates to Daboud. There is, in fact, an ongoing tug-of-war on the question, what did the ancient Egyptians look like? What color were they? Western culture has been more than a little fuzzy about this. In school, most of us learned about the pharaohs and the Sphinx, but not much about who built them. And with the face of the Sphinx blown almost away, it really wasn't clear, although I must admit that as a kid, I personally always wondered about that Sphinx's head.
New York studios with Dr. Ben. You know, Dr. Ben,
Okay, I'm going to resume the recording because I want you all to see this. This is a white guy. Now, he is traveling to Egypt. I'm not going to play his whole video. He's not that damn interesting, but I'm going to show you the beginning so you can hear out of his own mouth he's going to Egypt. Then I'm going to pause it and I'm going to take you towards the end. While he's in Egypt, he gets a severe sunburn with sunscreen on. He had sunscreen on and he got a severe sunburn. And I'm going to let it all come out of his mouth. That way, you know I'm not making this up.
But I'm excited for today because right now I'm just going to hop in the shower and finish packing my bag, and then I'm going to be heading to the airport because I'm actually flying to Egypt.
Okay, now you heard him, right? All right, so I'm going to advance in the video. And this is while he's in Egypt, and I want you to hear what he has to say. I'm going to go about right here. You can see right here, sunburnt in Egypt. So I'm going to start and roll the video.
Now, don't do it again, because in case you break your leg before the wedding, okay?
Guys, I just got home, and while I was out, I was feeling like a little bit of a tingle in my back. But I thought nothing of it. I thought maybe, just itchy or whatever. And I got home, and I took my t-shirt off, and I got one of the worst sunburns I've ever had in my life. Like my back, like my shoulders to my upper back is bright red. 1,000% I have like severe sunburn. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my back is on fire right now. That's why I'm lying down on my belly. But I'm not looking forward to tomorrow's sunlight because obviously when it's hot outside and the sun, it makes sunburn even worse. So I'm already wearing extra sunblock right now. So yeah, anyways, now I'm just chilling in the bedroom while I let my sunburn rest a little bit.
Okay. He got the sunburn in Egypt. He had sunscreen on. He had a t-shirt on. And even with the t-shirt and the sunscreen, he still got a severe burn in Egypt. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can, you know the rest. I'm just chuckling over here right now. There is no way they could have built Egypt. If you can't even be over there with sunscreen and you're dressed with a t-shirt on and you still get a severe burn, there's no way they built that place with no sunscreen. And if you can donate to this channel, please do. I love you. Peace, family.